Thank you, Senator Klobuchar. I appreciate that very much. Ms. Feliz, as legislative intergovernmental affairs assistant secretary, you're going to realize more and more how diverse the Department of Commerce is. And so you're going to have to be conversant about a number of issues. I want to talk with you today about NOAA, the National Oceanographic and Atmospheric Administration, and particularly their rules on a rather precise issue of the catch limit for red snapper fishermen. And it may be that you haven't really delved into this very much, but this is something that we're going to have to deal with the Department of Commerce and with NOAA. There are annual catch limits in the Gulf of Mexico on red snapper. As a matter of fact, there are limits established by NOAA and by the government that are deeply flawed to the detriment of our sports fishermen in Mississippi. If allowed to be implemented, it would reduce Mississippi's red snapper quota by 60%. Dr. Spinrad, the NOAA administrator, has said, and I quote, "There's no way the proposed calibration would pass peer review." So we have the NOAA director actually saying publicly that this is flawed data. Now, on the other hand, Ms. Feliz, the state of Mississippi has implemented a very detailed assessment called Tails and Scales. It actually involves catching a number of red snappers, weighing them on the scales, and providing that data. Now, we had thought that NOAA would incorporate the data the good data that we have provided in terms of the annual catch limits in place of this flawed data, which Dr. Spinrad said would never pass peer review. That sadly has not been done, and it seems as though the agency, unless we make some changes, is going to push forward with this flawed data. And we just cannot tolerate that down in the state of Mississippi. So will you commit to getting up to speed on this issue, to making sure the secretary understands the importance of this issue, as I know she does, and that you all work with our friends at NOAA to make sure that this data is as accurate as possible?
Thank you for your thoughtful question, Senator. I understand how important this issue is for you and your constituents. Fishing in the Gulf Coast is a prosperous industry that has a huge impact on the American people that you represent and in your home state of Mississippi. Yes, Senator, I do commit to, if confirmed, getting up to speed on this issue. I know this is an issue you care very deeply about, and if confirmed, I will make a commitment to work with you and your staff to ensure that we are listening to your views and ensure that there are open lines of communication as well as transparency with respect to how the department and bureau is implementing this rule.
Thank you, ma'am. And I might add that one reason I'm going to be leaving this hearing early this morning is to go and meet in my office with Dr. Spinrad. So I think it's a multi-thousand job issue and millions of dollars for our economy. So thank you very much. Now, Mr. Cravens, I think it's probably becoming clear to both of you that you're going to be confirmed with flying colors. And so thank you, Mr. Cravens, for saying and agreeing to follow through on rural minority business development too. And And I appreciate what you said about being a military veteran. And I note Captain Felice, retired Navy Captain Felice, is here. In my view, the United States military is the most successful civil rights program in the history of the world. And I witnessed it as an Air Force cadet, answerable to minority superiors when I was in college, as an Air Force active duty member, as an Air Force reservist. So I appreciate the fact that you see that as a way to perhaps draw some of the retirees that have had this great leadership experience in this great civil rights experiment into small businesses. We've got 9.2 million minority businesses now. Is it realistic to establish a numerical goal, do you think? And I realize this is coming out of the blue, but do you think there is some merit in saying by the end of X date we'll have X number of million?
Senator, thank you for the question, and thanks for your leadership on this issue. Thank you for your leadership and the support of the MBDA throughout the years. It's a great question, Senator, and I think about it often. As a military man, I do understand that goals are important. Without them, we can't measure successes and we can't measure failures. What I would say, and again, I can't speak for the administration until I'm confirmed, I do believe, though, some goals are important. What makes goals real or not is that they're based upon input. And so if we were to create goals, Senator Wicker, I'd want to work with you and the members of this committee. I'd want to work with stakeholders. I'd want to work with the men and women who have been doing this work for over 50 years and set realistic, rational goals. And then we could measure ourselves, Senator, so that when you call me before this committee again for an oversight hearing or to answer some questions, I will have something I can measure it by. Without it, we're just really kind of just shooting in the dark, shooting blind. I think our minority businesses, you've got 82,000 in Mississippi. I think they would want us to have some reasonable, realistic goals for us to live by so that you and I could go down and talk about these goals in Jackson. I could go to Alcorn State, and I'll go, as long as it's not a Saturday and it's football season, I'll go to all your schools.
That might be the very time to go. Well, we're intruding on the time of other members. Let me just say this, Senator Klobuchar, and to my fellow members of the committee. If we could have a breakthrough in this area, I cannot express how important it would be to the economy of this country. If we could have a quantum leap in minority business entrepreneurship, that would be a game changer.
Agreed.
So we're looking to you.
Okay, so well said. Well, Senator